Today is the 26th of February 2018. They're getting bigger and they want to climb out. I just weighed 3 of them. They all three, they're all about the same size. Our little pink girl might be a pound or so less, I don't know, but that's her right there. But the rest of them are all 9 pounds. I think our brown boy's just a tad over 9 pounds, but not quite 10 pounds, unless my scale was off, which who knows. But anyway, these are big guys. Our change in food, these last 2 litters have made, or the last few, 2 or 3 litters have really made a huge difference. But we did get away from the very quick test run on the parents' food because, as I suspected but was convinced it wouldn't happen, we started getting yeasty ears. And so we are off that food. We're back off the corn, soy, and wheat, and we've got a great food that the parents love, and they're doing well on it. Still reasonably priced. It is still different than what the puppies have. The puppies have peas in their food, which is not recommended for breeding dogs. I've tried doing research to see if I can find anything that says that it's nonsense, but I haven't yet been able to find it. So, and even one of the most infamous veterinarians known to the reproductive world of canines also says that they're not recommended. So, I don't know. Who knows what to believe? You know, saccharin was supposed to kill us years ago, and I think it's actually safer than the crap they put in our Coke now. Or sodas, whatever you want to call them. Okay, so there is our brown boy. They're very, very much more active. We are in the midst of selections. I do apologize for the delay. We've had a couple of things, just unexpected things as usual going on, but not just with the dogs. We also had a death in the family. So I'm going to get back on it today and contact the next person on the list. And there is our orange girl, playing and having a grand old time. They are much, much more active than the last video. I actually did a video in between, and due to the confusion of everything else, I never got it uploaded, and I do apologize. That's our pink girl. All right, and this is our brown boy. He is very, very late. Oh, a bark! You can actually make noise. I didn't think you had it in you, buddy. No, I didn't. All right, let's see. Here's our purple girl. All right, I did not change their collars today because I didn't want them to sit here and itch while I was taking their video. This is our black boy, and don't worry, I'll take care of these things. This is our black collared boy, and if his tail would sit still, which right now he's so happy it's not going to, he has got the curliest tail I have seen in a long time on a Sheepadoodle. We get them quite common with our pure doodles. Most of them do have them, but not often as curly as his is with the Sheepadoodles. It's really cute. I just have a thing for those curly tails. Let's see. There's our purple. Is it our purple girl again? Yeah, that's our purple girl again. Our brown boy. I know our orange collared girl has been assigned. I believe our pink girl has been assigned. It's all noted on our website, which of course is Lawpadoodle Canine Manor. It's www.lawpadoodlek, the number 9 Manor, MANOR.com. These puppies are out of Belle. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I have Belle in the brain because I just rehomed her recently. Sorry, these are Buttons. Buttons and Splash. I did update our parents page, and I don't know if I think I have Buttons and Splash both on there. I'm just trying. We have not had the weather to get good pictures of our puppies or our dogs, and my groomer's been getting out here whenever she can in between the deluge of rain we've had for the last 3 or 4 weeks. Not to mention mud. Everybody's complaining whether it's a farmer or a breeder that does allow their dogs outside like we do to run and play all day. But of course, they're happy with the mud. I'm just not happy with the mud. So anyway, Kathy's coming back out tomorrow to see if we can knock out a few more of our dogs. We just shave them down because it keeps them so much cleaner. We haven't had any cold weather, so what's the point in keeping their coats right now? So, and it doesn't look in the long-range forecast that we're going to have many more really frigid, cold days. So, I know, I see you. Hello, puppy. Yeah, this is our gray-collared boy. I believe he was just chosen. Yeah, him, the pink, the orange, and the pink, I believe. Or no, the black, the gray, and the orange, I believe, are the 3 that have been chosen. So the other 3 have not been assigned yet. These puppies are not available. I do get emails all the time, as I'm sure every other Sheepadoodle breeder does, when we announce a litter and they want to know if they're available or if they can choose one. And no, you need to go to our link at the top of our homepage that says Sheepadoodle reservations, and we have given all the information that we can. I know there's a lot there. Some people obviously get impatient and do not read everything, because then they send me an email asking me the same questions that I've already answered on my website. However, I do not mind taking the time to answer it again. I try to do my best. And I've got a couple more emails. I finally bought myself a new little laptop with a lot more memory, so I can actually take time early in the morning and late in the evening to answer emails if I'm available at those times. And then during the day, I'm usually at my desktop, which it's much easier to track down my emails while I'm doing other things on my desktop. My desktop is the only thing that allows me to update my website. Okay, and I do have all Mac products, so everything kind of shares itself, except for the website. Everything shares itself, my photos, things like that. Okay. So, hello. Boy, you are just a barky today. I didn't know you had a voice. He's come out of his shell big time. This is our brown collar boy. He really has. He's got a nice stout face. All these puppies do. I'm just really, really pleased with their look, their coloration. Ram, I believe it. Yeah, Ram is their daddy. Ram is, of course, the son of Boaz, our Boaz. So we're orange-collared. I hear you, Bubby. I hear you. What is it that it's so fun to listen to a puppy bark, but it's not fun to listen to an adult bark? Yeah, but she's so cute. One of my favorite little first milestones when they're like around 2 weeks old, 2 to 3 weeks old, is their first little puppy bark. You're so funny. You are so funny. Yes. This is a fun stage. They're really starting to cue into me and become more social. Oh, look, you got the polka dot ear everybody loves. Yes. That's our pink girl. Oh, that's our black-collared boy. Yeah. What? See, if you look real closely, whatever it was that caused, and it could have been when we still had the mom on the propane, because like I said, I have not seen any of these issues until I was on that food. But they are starting to actually grow out. It's not dark at the very base of their eyes anymore. So, and again, it could have come because that's what mom was on at the time. And so when she was milking them, everything mom eats, they eat. So they eat, goes through the milk. So you can see really clearly how there's no drainage at the base of her eyes. So anyway, it was a trial run. If it works for some, that's great. They have a great reputation, but it doesn't work for me. And so we have changed, and we're back to, it's not totally grain-free, because totally grain-free has its disadvantages as well, but it definitely does not have the soy, corn, and wheat, which seems to be what always causes us issues with yeast and things like that. So Proplan was the first food we used when we were first breeding back in 2000, about 10 years ago. We used it for quite a while. It does do a really good job maintaining the weight on the adults. I mean, there's a lot of good things from it, but the yeasty ears and other issues really just got to me. We discontinued it when the recommendation to get off the corn, soy, and wheat came along. We have, up until this point, stayed clear of it for adults and puppies, and we've not had the yeasty ears. And my groomer is Kathy is really, really good at keeping on top of the ears of my adults when she grooms them, and she cleans them out real good. We flush them out, and we know whether we have any issues or not. But anyway, so little background, but we were having weight or lack thereof, just didn't seem to see the growth on the last food that we had, which I won't mention. I think they changed their formula on us because we were really due doing well with it, and it could be the puppy food that I recommended, because I know a couple of people are still on it and doing well, and that is fine if it works, and if it's not broke, don't fix it. But we were just seeing some things that were kind of a little crazy that, you know, first thing you got to do is just go to the food and see if that makes a difference. Our deworming program is pretty regular, and we're pretty diligent about that. Fleas are not something we really struggle with sometimes in our house, because the farm dogs drag them in, they migrate up, but we get on top of them as soon as we see them. Yep. And I got a rainbow, well, a rainbow knockoff now, but those water reservoir vacuum cleaners are the best for collecting hair, parasites such as fleas, things like that, because they hit that water and they drown. They can't crawl back out like they can in these bagless vacuums, which to me end up picking up the stink. And then every time I start it up, it smells like a bunch of dogs, which I have, but I don't need it coming out of my vacuum cleaner too. So I have always found, now my rainbow has kind of seen better days. They must have lost their patent. That's all I can say. My son had bought something called a Serena out of Canada that is what he calls a knockoff. I just found a $99 cheapo. It's about worth $99, but it still functions fairly well. It just clogs a little bit easier than others. But I ran across another ad for one that's about $400 or $500, I think, which sure beats $2,000, which is what the average rainbow costs. It is called the Quantum. So if anybody's interested, has allergies like I do, I have skin and sinus allergies, always have. And with having animals, I have to battle it that much more. But the water filter vacuums are the top. Now, the one that I currently have does not have a beater for area rugs or carpet, but the Quantum does. And at some point, if we wear out this $99 thing that we got, which I can't remember what it's called, but if anybody wants to know, just email me off my website and I'll let you know. If you have nothing but hard floors, it's ideal, which is where we are. We have nothing but hard floors. So anyway, just wanted to chit-chat and let you guys see these puppies again. First generation Sheepadoodles, again, out of Buttons and Ram, both AKC Old English, AKC Standard Poodle, and no, you cannot register these guys with AKC. They are a mix. I saw some silly post today about that, and no, they can't be registered AKC. You can register them with CKC or Designer Dogs International or whatever, but what's the point? I sell for pets only, not for breeding. But it is important to us to have some sort of a lineage behind our adults. So we don't just go off and willy-nilly buy an unregistered Old English or an unregistered Standard Poodle or unregistered Pyrenees. By that I mean sometimes we don't register them, but I can, and I can access all the information because they came to me with the application from AKC from the breeder. Okay, and then of course some of them are from our own breeding, which were 2 AKC adults. Okay. All right, and we will be having a litter for sure of Old English sheepdogs later this year, hopefully sooner than later, because we need to raise up a couple puppies for ourselves. I'm expecting a litter of first generation pure doodles any day. Mom's quiet over there. I think she's getting closer and closer. Today's actually her due date. And so, by all indications, she's giving me it might be a very long night tonight. It is what it is. But anyhow, then we've got, I'm real excited about, finally, after 3 years of planning, our first litter of Pyrenees crossed with Bernese with Shiloh. Now, in the case of Shiloh and Bandy, that is their last litter. So they will be spayed and up for adoption. We've got a couple of other girls' standard poodles that are available for adoption. Rita and Minnie. Reddy has already been assigned. Belle, our Old English, she went to her new home already and is doing phenomenal. Let's see, who else do we have available that's retiring? We've retired RG. anyway, if you're interested in one of our adults for adoption, please give us a... Oh, I got to cut off. We're almost at 15. See ya. Thank you for viewing our puppies. God bless.